what you just did is you used the most important tool that you've got to help yourself in terms of time management, so that you're not under the dictatorship of everything else in life. And the other important tool is your school records. Okay, so we have the school records page up here. Amanda has graciously allowed us to view it. We are not looking at it so that we can see all of her grades. Who is Amanda, by the way? Sorry, you're Amanda, right? Okay. What I want to show you actually is something that is very important on school records that you may or may not know about as sophomores, maybe. If I scroll down here, I see this box, latest graded student work, and I'm going to ask Amanda's permission to change this from today. Go ahead. Okay. To something that's going to help you guys a lot more. You guys probably don't even look at that box very often. You just look at these averages. These averages tell you basically how you're doing in a class, but they don't give you the most important information. What you want to do is go to My Settings. Everybody with me? Customize Home. It's very hard to do it this way. And then this right here where it says Show Graded Student Work, change that to, for now, this month. Click Save. Never click back because it'll throw you out and you have to relog in and go to Home. Now what she sees is latest greatest, I call it latest greatest, student work for the month. As soon as a teacher grades an assignment, that specific assignment shows up right here. Okay? Now in Amanda's case it really is the latest and greatest. Okay, she's doing really well. But let's imagine that this is your school records page. You were absent, and you went to the teacher the day you came back, and you said, I was absent yesterday, what did I miss? And the teacher goes, let's see, I talked about this, get the notes from somebody, and that's all they say. 3 days later, you notice your averages, and they look fair, but you can't remember exactly what they were before, so you don't notice any big difference. But over in this box, you suddenly see, as you're scrolling down, an M. An M is like a 0. So you see this M, and you go, wait a minute, I've turned everything in. So you kind of follow it over, and you see the date, you see the class, and you go, oh, there was a quiz the day I was out. So you go to the teacher, very nicely, very graciously, you say, I noticed in my grades that I have an M for a quiz. That looks like it was a pop quiz on the day I was absent. Can I take it? Okay. If you don't go to the teacher, is the teacher going to come to you and tell you that you have an M in her class or his class? No. Maybe, but most likely not. So that M sits there, and it may be affecting this average by half a grade or more. So you're cheating yourself out of the highest average you could have, okay? Just by not realizing you had an M or a 0. So if you set this box up, latest graded student work for this month, you're going to see any low grade right away as soon as the teacher's graded it, and you can do something about it. It's also a good reminder for those English paper rewrites, though typically that's going to affect this drastically enough. But just in case you see you want to meet with a teacher, you're reminded, oh yeah, I want to meet with the teacher every time you look at that grade. Okay? So you want to set this up so that you can see it. And remember how we did that? You just go to My Settings, Customize Home, and change this to this month, okay, so that you can see those, right? The other important thing that you have with school records, obviously, is your assignment list. Now, I, for one, find this a little unwieldy, okay? You have your assignments listed and you're going down. There's, to me, something that's actually a little bit easier to work with your planner, and it's over here. So we go to Amanda's Classes, we scroll down here to Assignment Calendar, and that's going to show us the days view by default. So we're going to go up here to the 7, right at the top here, and go to the week view. And now I can see what I should see when I look at my planner. So you can see the week's view of your assignments. And when you're looking at this, you can see, okay, Tuesday and Wednesday were kind of biggies in terms of homework and tests. And then you can see that you also have quite a bit going on Friday. You have SIs due, some Spanish reading, and a bullying essay due for health, which would be all of you. Okay? So, by looking ahead, you can see what's coming up. This is where we are really going to hone in. How many of you find yourself writing a paper and studying for a test often the night before? That's what we want to eliminate. Okay, we want to eliminate that. Amanda's looking at this, and she sees here that all of this is due today, but she sees she has nothing due on Thursday. She could go home and say, I have no homework tonight. Or she could wisely say, I have nothing due tomorrow, but I could work on these SIs, or I could work on the bullying essay, or I could work on both. Which would be the wiser use of her time. Okay? She could also say, not only do I not have anything due tomorrow, but I have a homework period tomorrow and a double lunch tomorrow. So I could work on the SIs tonight and then finish them up during the homework period. And then I could start looking at the bullying essay assignment videos, because you have to watch a video. I could do that during the extended lunch in the library and then finish that at home. In other words, she has options. Do you see how she has options? Because she's looking at this today for Friday. She gets to choose what she does and when she does it. If she doesn't look at this until Thursday night, there are no options. She's doing it all Thursday night. And how many of you are in sports? All right, theater, art, dance, mostly sports here. All right, so what if she has a game Thursday night? All right, now she not only has no options, but she's having to do all this after she gets home from the game, which is not fun. Whereas if she looks at it now, and she sees all this, and she sees she has a game on Thursday night, she now can use her option of doing it all tonight, or doing it tonight and during homework period and extended lunch tomorrow. Again, she's in control. Okay, she's not under the dictatorship or the tyranny of yours, she's in control. So this is called looking ahead and then planning backwards. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Now, since it's Wednesday, what I would even suggest is looking at a little bit further. So we're going to click on this arrow that's right over here and look at next week. Now, next week looks pretty good for you, Amanda. So far, you have nothing that you have to do over the weekend. You do have a history unit test on Tuesday. And if you didn't want to have to spend all your Monday night studying, or if you felt you needed to do some review over a series of nights, you could actually look ahead, see that that test is on Tuesday, and then plan backwards. When do you want to start studying for that test? You might want to start on Sunday, you might want to start on Saturday, or if you have a busy weekend, you might say to yourself, oops, sorry, you might say to yourself, I'm going to start studying on Thursday night because I've already done my SIs that are due on Friday. All right? But again, the whole idea is you're looking ahead, planning backwards, so you have options. Now, to help you with this, I put in your packet a time management kind of formula that you can use. So look at page 8. When you look at your calendar, ask yourself what is due, when is it due, and how much time it will take you. If you think, for instance, the bullying essay, let's use that as an example. If you think that bullying essay might take you 2 hours, and it's due Friday, and you now have 2 nights to get it done, how many minutes do you need to work each night to get it done easily? 60, right. Okay, you're following this? Just an hour each night. If you don't work on it for an hour tonight, how much do you have to work on it the next night? The 2 hours. So that's how it works. But again, you're making that choice. Let's imagine that, as I said, the bullying essay isn't due until Monday. We'll pretend it's due to Friday, but let's pretend it's not due until Monday. You have something you're doing over the weekend. Okay, go with the bottom formula here, and don't count the weekend days in your number of days. So how many days do you have to get that essay done? You still only have 2 days, because you're taking out the weekend. Okay, if you don't mind